Live from San Gabriel, California, this is Dre's Geek Philosophy. What's going on, Pete?
How's it going?
And actually, we did have the opportunity to record in the secret podcast studios, but unfortunately, my life got in the way this time, and I would not have been close enough to the location of our secret podcast studios to do the show on time. I mean, we're late enough as it is, so I had to decline the invitation of Mr. Sam Zia. I would love to have a third chair, especially with the topic we're going to talk about in the second half of the show today. But we're here. It's Monday. I feel I can't speak for you, but I know I'm pretty tired. Oh, yeah. I feel like you're pretty exhausted.
I got home about 6 last night.
6 p.m.
And about like 8 o'clock, I just fell asleep.
I think you woke up an hour ago to to get here to the store.
I don't remember going to sleep, but I don't know when that happened. Like it just happened.
It just happened. Yeah, that it was that kind of weekend because, of course, we talked about it last week. Pete did the Long Beach Comic Con. We had a table for the East LA Comic Book Art and Pop Culture Expo. The people at the Long Beach Comic Con were kind enough to allow us to promote the Pete show. You're the big shoe, and I went down and I helped you out on Saturday.
Yeah. Saturday was a long day too. We were at 9:30.
Oh my God, 9:30 till like we gave up early. Like,
we gave up at 6.
Like after the artist next door to us was like, I'm out of here. I'm done. And we were like, you know what?
Yeah.
Pete's like, we're done too. I'm like, you know what? We are done. Let's get out of here.
Because we were there at 7, right? 7.
Yeah, we got there like a little bit after. We got there a little bit after 7 because we're like, oh, we need to go set up, and we're like the third booth set up.
Yeah.
And then all we really had was just T-shirts.
Yeah.
Like we had T-shirts with our banner. Hey, you still like comic book pop culture expo?
But it was cool though. It was cool. We got to meet a lot of people, a lot of fans. We got to meet a lot of creators.
Yeah.
It really showed that what surprised me the whole weekend was there were people that were coming out to the booth that already knew about it.
Yep.
They already knew about it, I heard about this already.
They've heard about it. We've done something where we could go to like a major local convention, like Long Beach Comic, and people knew who you were. They knew the mayor of comics, Pete Molini.
But my favorite moment was on Sunday. The first guy that came to the table, it was just me and Joanna sitting at the table, and this guy had these 2 kids with him, and so I did the pitch. I did the it's free admission, bring the kids, and the whole thing, right? And the guy was like, East LA. He goes, I live in East LA.
I live in East LA. How have I not heard of this? So what rock have you been hiding under?
Yeah, right. That was my favorite interaction of the weekend.
You actually found someone who didn't cut you off. I know we kept getting cut off all weekend. They're like, what is this? Well, at least when I was there on Saturday, honestly, I think I ran to a few people who didn't know about it, and I explained it to them in my very corporate way, because I had to keep. I'm sure it was surprising you and surprising Patrick how the corporate Dre kept coming out, and I was explaining everything in my very corporate way.
Yeah,
it's a community show by the community for the community. I had everything pre-recorded in my head, and I was just dropping it on people. It was a lot of fun, and I think what I liked the most, I couldn't be there to witness it, but you, Pete Molini, you got to moderate a panel at the Long Beach Comic Con. I've had the pleasure of doing that a couple times myself, but you finally got to enjoy being the man in command, dictating the pace of a panel. So how was that for you?
You know what? I'll be honest. I was terrified beforehand.
Right.
Again, I never done anything like that before. But I feel that, what's it called?
Pete can add moderator to his governor of comics. Oh, wow. When did you get promoted to governor of comics? You're the governor of comics.
But I never done that before. And you know what? Honestly, I've never had stage fright, but I've always been a little nervous.
Right.
I think I kind of got over that with this.
Yeah. Us doing this show for the last, 18 months. More than 18 months. I can't do math.
Yeah. But, and the other thing I was a little worried about, so the night before, I was working on my questions.
So Saturday night you were...
Saturday night I was working on it. I had worked on it a little bit, but it was just I started stressing out when we got closer. And it was cool. It was fun. I think the key to doing it is that you have to have people that are good at talking about stuff.
Yes. I learned that the hard way. The 2 panels that I have, If you got people who are not long-winded, then you have to pick up the pieces really quick and be like, hey, let me throw something at you, and please don't give me a one-word answer.
And it was pretty cool. Like everybody, like they really interacted. But the craziest thing was that about halfway through, I ran out of questions. It was about the halfway point. I was just like, oh.
That sounds about right. That's when you go to the audience.
Right, that was the plan, right? But then what happened was
there was no questions from the audience.
This lady just started asking questions. Like she just stood up and started asking questions, and we're like, all right, cool, right? And we went with that, and then from her question, I kind of spawned some other ideas, and then we went from there, and just it kept going back and forth, and it was fun.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm glad you had yourself a good time moderating, because I know like my experience was it was up and down. I believe the two panelists I had, one talked too much and one did not talk enough. One guy, he meandered and would belabor points, and I'm like, okay, we're good on that. Hey, let's start throwing names. Hey, can we get some interaction from you, other person? I mean, they're gonna know who they are. I mean, fuck it. I just don't want to publicly throw them under the bus. No.
But it was cool. It was really cool. I got a lot of feedback. A lot of people were talking to me afterwards. I got asked if I wanted to do other panels at other shows, and it's like, wow, like
that's how it starts, man. That's how it starts.
Yeah.
That's how it begins. Like you do one, you do it well enough. Because not everybody wants to be up there at that podium, man.
Yeah, well,
not everyone wants the podium.
It was a little awkward because we get up there, because literally the panel before us, they went long. And so we're like, all right, we were just literally waiting in the back, waiting for
Now the anticipation is building up for you. Like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Oh, beforehand, I was down at the booth like about a half hour beforehand, and my friend Javier Hernandez, he comes up to me like I didn't even see him. He came behind me. He goes, oh, don't worry, Sci-Fi Network's gonna be filming this, and so you'll be fine.
You could have been fine not knowing that.
It wasn't true. He was just messing with me, right?
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh. He was just getting in your head.
And so the anticipation was growing. I was still real nervous.
Oh yeah, man.
And then so it ended. We went up there, and the first thing I noticed, the guy before me, the guy moderating before me, he's really tall. So the mic stand was like up here.
You're like, let me bring this down here.
And it was one of those like bendy ones. So I bent it, but I bent it and it
just,
no, worse, dude. It went donk, and then made that loud noise. Right?
Oh man.
So I was
like a bad teen comedy.
So it wouldn't stay up. So I ended up having to take the mic off, just holding it like a freaking
Stanley,
or like an '80s stand-up comedian, right? Just like.
Now what do you do with all these comics? Do you just wipe your butt with them? So, wow, so you got off on the right foot.
Oh
sounds like it.
And the other thing was really weird. I was like, Joanna, because right off the bat, that room was really cold compared to like the outside. There was a vent right underneath the podium. So yeah,
you just had everything working against you. Like the elements, the world, the what's it, the Hyatt? You guys were in?
Yeah, I think the Hyatt.
The Hyatt was working against you.
Yeah, it was interesting.
But like I said, you still, thankfully, you got through all your questions, and then you did some Q&A with one person.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that the panelists, they just kept on going. So like we really had no time for Q&A, and it got to a point like I thought I was going to run short. And next thing I know, I see the guy that is running the comedy.
Like hold up the sign. 5 minutes.
He's like this, like wrap it up. And so I had to wrap it up quick.
You're like, well, thank you. You have to do the thanking everyone thank you for coming to this. What was the subject of the panel? I know you told me before, but I looked in the book. Well, do you remember offhand?
It was
Latinos in comics.
It was a Latin horror.
Latin horror,
folklore, and fantasy.
Right, because one of your panelists, that Border Town book, right?
Eric Esquivel, he was on
Esquivel. Good cruise, evil cruise, I don't know. That's an inside joke for our friends. And his book just came out this past Wednesday and was already like...
Well, that was the funny thing, too, because the panel wasn't even to promote that book. It was to promote another book he was working on.
But then that book happened to come out, and
it blew up.
It blown up like gangbusters.
You see, Jim Lee posted today that he's reading it and eating the chips and salsa.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a big deal if Mr. Jim Lee, co-publisher of DC Comics, along with our buddy Dan DiDio.
And so that's why at one point, when after that one woman was asking the questions, I was like, oh shit, we could talk about that. I mean, we might as well. We're already here.
We're talking about Border Town.
And so I literally, Eric was sitting next to me, and I was like, well, I'm sure you're tired of talking about this, but like,
Why don't you tell us a little bit about Border Town?
and he was all into it, man. He was,
Hey, it's his baby, right?
Yeah.
It's his baby, and he got to talk about it. And you got to moderate it.
Yeah.
The Saturday I was there, I had a lot of fun. Like I said, interacting with people.
Yeah.
I was drawing. If you see my Instagram or if you check on our Facebook, you'll see a lot. Like I did some sketch covers. I didn't really sell anything. I was just there for funsies.
Yeah.
Drawing, and I did 3 sketch covers for our friend Alfredo. How do I say it?
Adolfo. Well, his name is Aflodo Monstros. But his name is Adolfo Reyes.
Adolfo Reyes.
Yeah.
Everybody Monstro. I always refer to him as Monstro.
Yeah.
And so he got he came by, hung out at our booth because at that point me and Enrique, who had one of our friends Enrique was there, and I was playing Street Fighter with. I brought my Nintendo Switch with me because that's what you do when you're a nerd. I'm like, there's gonna be long periods of time where we're gonna need to kill time. I brought my Switch, so me and Enrique were playing Street Fighter, and then Adolfo came by. He's like, "Oh, cool!" He saw his game. I'm like, "Oh, you want a round? Put a quarter up." And I did not know about our friend Monstro. He's a gamer.
Oh yeah.
He's a big gamer. So I felt so dumb because I kept saying I wanted to record some content for the show, but obviously everyone's complaining about their Wi-Fi, so I couldn't go live. So I never set up the camera. I should have set up the camera, at least record the video, because Adolfo and I had a really awesome conversation about old school gaming. I don't know if you had already you were around or you're kind of like bouncing back and forth.
About to, yeah.
Like he and I were sitting there, we played Street Fighter against each other, and we had this awesome conversation. Would have been like a perfect little 15-20 minute video to post on all of our channels of me and him talking about old school gaming, talking about Street Fighter, talking about all this stuff. Like I think afterwards I was like, I should have recorded that, but obviously you can't manufacture that. That it was very organic how the conversation came about.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, like next time let's we'll set it up so we play and we set up game and record at the same time. Because one of my favorite YouTube channels, Up Up Down Down, he does that every week. He'll bring on a wrestler, and they'll just put on a game, like a game from their childhood, and they'll just play it for fun. And while they're talking about their gaming history, so I'm like, oh man, I could totally copy Xavier Woods. Shout out to Up Up Down Down.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, it was a fun show.
I haven't. This is the first show we've vended at. Well, not even vending.
Yeah, but it was like we were promoting.
Yeah.
Where we were doing publicity for the 2019 East LA Comic Book Art and Pop Culture Expo. I gotta get the whole mouthful out of my mouth.
Yeah, that was. I didn't realize how long that name is until you have to say it in front of a long panel.
Right.
And it's like, wow.
Oh, did you after hi? I'm Pipolini.
As they told me. They told me to introduce myself
as the founder,
Yeah.
the founder of the East Los Angeles Comic Book Art and Pop. Did you say Cape and then define it, or you just went?
I just
went full Monty. You just were like the East Los Angeles Comic Book Art and Pop Culture. Fuck, that's a long ass name, Expo. Good God, what have I done, Expo?
Pretty much, man. And the only weird thing that happened to me was we were talking about like folklore and land monsters and whatever, and they kept on talking about La Llorona.
Oh, really? I was about to say, I hope they didn't bring up the Chupacabra.
No, all of that came up too.
Of course they fucking.
But the funny thing was, when they were talking about
Uh-huh.
it, I remember like, I think that show Grimm did an episode of
really?
La Llorona, and for some reason I was gonna bring up that fact, and I couldn't get the word La Llorona out. Like my mouth just wouldn't do it.
Right,
No, not even that. It was just like,
because my friend, you are Hispanic, but you're
no.
I dare say you're whiter than me, my friend. I always can claim to be the world's whitest Mexican. I am. For those of you who don't, spoiler alert, Dre's Mexican, like 100%. Don't let my clear diction and my pale skin fool you. I'm 100% Mexican. You're like 50.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
you couldn't get La Llorona out?
No, it wouldn't even come out. It wasn't even a sound coming out. I don't know why. Like it was the weirdest moment.
God, I hope. I know you said like on social media saying someone did film it.
Yeah, it was super.
Like, there's got to be a video somewhere,
Oh,
but we must find this video and post it up. Hey, on Facebook Live, Judy Lynn has joined us. Hey, Judy, thumbs up to you as well.
Yeah, so that was the weirdest moment in the panel.
Couldn't get out La Llorona.
I was like, blah blah.
Blah blah blah. You're like Jim Carrey in Liar Liar. You can't lie. You're like,
Like I had it in my head, but it wasn't coming out of my mouth for some reason.
The show, Grimm, the thing that you guys talking about.
Yeah, pretty much. It was so weird, man.
That's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the show was pretty interesting. Now all of a sudden I got infected with it. I couldn't there's a thought in my head and I can't escape. The show's been around for 10 years, but that was the first time I've ever gone.
Really?
Yeah, because although honestly, I've kind of quit going to conventions.
Yeah, me too. I haven't gone to a show in a while.
But no San Diego. No. I did go to WonderCon a few years ago, but it was fine. But it was all right. I was I had already made my peace with comic book conventions at that point. I'm are coming. At least as far as going as a fan, if I'm just gonna go and just walk around all day, I think I'd be more inclined what we did this past weekend, where we're going to promote East LA Cape, or if I would ever suck up the nerve to go and promote my shitty little webcomic,
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't pay that table price. Good God.
Yeah, that's a little expensive.
Oh my Lord. This is that was crazy because obviously we got comped the table because we were promoting, so we weren't there to make money. We were there to get the word out to other convention goers, hey, next spring come down to our show in East LA, so you don't have to drive all the way down to the LBC, because it's a local show. It's not Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Isn't there an LA Comic Con? No, this is the East LA Pop Culture Expo.
There was a guy, it was so weird, on Sunday, he came over to us and he was talking about, he's like, well, in East LA, there's the Edward James Olmos something book festival. And I was like, and he's like, I think it's this weekend. And I'm like, I have not heard of that, right? And then he said, oh, I created the mascot for it. And he was going on.
What is it, freaking General Adama from fucking Battlestar Galactica?
Yeah, the only clue I'm going to give you, it's an animal. What do you think? You think East LA?
East LA.
You think Edward James Olmos and books?
Some sort of cat, because he's always looks like a leathery cat.
It's a penguin with a baseball cap.
Why?
We don't know, man.
So the Edward James Olmos Book Festival is a penguin with a baseball cap. Mm-hmm. That's the last. I would associate Edward James Olmos with leathery skin. So maybe a horse with a baseball cap. Something leathery.
My dad.
A cow.
My dad's explanation of the only thing he can think of why they would do that is because penguins walk like cholos.
Fuck. Ha! I literally can't even with that.
Yeah.
And then they got the penguins, God damn it.
Yeah, it was odd. It was like we had some characters come by, man.
Oh man. Freaking penguin. And then Judy Lynn puts up an emoticon of a penguin on our Facebook Live. Hey, Rosa Limon has joined us. Well, thanks for joining us on Facebook Live, Rosa. And Edward James Olmos and penguins. I mean, have they seen freaking what was the movie where he was Jaime Escalante?
He was a penguin though, wasn't he? In some surfing movie? Was it that? What was the name?
Surfs Up.
I think he was, or the other one.
There's another one.
The dancing penguin movie.
Oh, forget. I can't remember the dance. Yeah. Oh God.
I think he was the voice of a penguin at one point.
I know he's a freaking a dad in Mayans.
Yeah.
The new Sons of Anarchy show that just premiered last week.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. Honestly, so I was watching that show Mayans last week, and I was like, as soon as I saw him pop, I'm like, fuck. No, we can't get him for East LA Cape.
He's too big now.
He's gotten big. He's gonna get big again. This damn Sons of Anarchy spin-off show is gonna make him too big for our little dingy show. We have to. Another thought that I just totally completely got derailed. You infected me with this. So last week, freaking Burt Reynolds passed away.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Gator.
Yeah.
Gator.
Yeah.
No, for me it all has be Cannonball Run, but I was thinking so the last movie he did. Was it the last movie star? Yeah. Or the last bit.
I think it's the last movie star.
Yeah, because actually, Rosa and I saw the director of that movie a few months back when we saw Douglas movies, and I was thinking about that, oh shit, because the premise of that movie is he's this older movie star, and then they got him to go to this movie festival because they're giving him a lifetime achievement award.
It's like a bar, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, it's a bar, and I'm like, oh shit, that's how we could have got ELJ. We could have got Edward James Olmos to the Cape by doing some sort of Cape Lifetime Achievement Award for Edward James Olmos. That's how we could get him.
We could probably still do that.
We probably still could. I mean, they're done with shooting Mayans.
Yeah, so I mean,
one of my coworkers at the rep job, she was telling me, oh yeah, your husband helped coordinate because they filmed that show right here in Santa Clarita.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's like a cable show. Right? They shoot all
cable
that before.
Oh yeah, it's on FX.
Yeah, so they film it all before they air it, right?
Yeah, it's on the can.
Yeah.
It's on the can. I'm like, we can still get him for Cape.
We can still do it.
With the finest publicist. With hey, he's getting a lifetime achievement award for nerddom.
He's been in a non-nerdy shit.
He's been in a lot of nerdy shit. He was a fucking Battlestar Galactica, man.
Was it Agents of Shield?
That's right. He was the freaking like the rogue fucking
Yeah, right.
head of Shield.
And then he was in Blade Runner.
I always forget.
Yeah, he was.
I'm not that big of a Blade Runner guy for personal reasons, but.
He even. I mean, well, you haven't seen the new one, right?
No, I haven't seen the new one. Did he show up again?
He showed up in there for a little bit, yeah.
Good God.
So
See, we got. Oh, okay, we still got to effort him.
Yeah.
Maybe because he's doing that. Maybe he's more willing to do content.
That's true, right?
Maybe I'm thinking about this the wrong way. I have to turn it on his head. Like, before when he wasn't working, maybe I'm not going to be in the public spotlight. I'm not doing anything. Now he's doing my ends. We can stand and deliver. Thank you, Judy. I couldn't remember the Jaime Escalante movie.
Oh, dude, I went to Garfield.
Let him blood out.
I went to Garfield. So when you go to Garfield,
That's all
they show you that movie all the time. like whenever it's an off day, like
you got a substitute. All right, put on stand and deliver because they filmed it there, right?
Yeah, it's about there. Like Jaime Escalante taught at
Garfield.
Yeah.
Well, even at Macy Intermediate, they showed us stand and deliver. They got us all. They got us all in the library. They made us all sit down, and we watched Stand and Deliver in the library. It went over 2 periods.
But yeah, it's there's some. Yeah, because I remember one time I did see Edward James Olmos at San Diego Comic Con.
Oh really?
And he was just there. He had like a table, one of those like celebrity tables.
And the one upstairs, and then like in that.
No, it was in the
show floor.
The show floor. Yeah.
Oh really?
But the funny thing was that he was sitting there, and he had a little sign, and it said that if you bought something, they had his prices, and you could take a picture with him, and it was cool. But if you want him to stand up, it was $100. And so I looked at him like, and I saw it, and I go like, really? And he's like, I'm just very tired.
Hey, he's not a young man.
Yeah.
He was old in the 80s.
That's true.
And the 80s are almost 40 years ago.
Yeah, so.
In a couple years, the 80s will be 40 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so.
That's fun. Good old ELJ. We got to effort that. We're gonna have to effort that for East LA Cape 2019. He'll be our guest of honor.
I gotta find out about this book fair. I mean, if we get to
Dude, we gotta get to the book fair.
And that really it's one step away.
Yeah, but the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, the 6 degrees of Jaime Escalante. Let's go find the real Jaime Escalante and see if he can get us. I'm sure he's had to talk to ELJ at some point. Edward James almost. I'm like, I don't know why I keep saying ELJ. What's wrong with me? There's something wrong with me. I'm like, ELJ? No, it's AJO. I'm a moron.
That doesn't sound right.
It doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
So something else, look, to go back to the Long Beach Comic Con, take us off this Edward James almost tangent that we went on. I was like, so Pete and I went to a DC Nation panel. Like this used to be a big highlight for me. Like whenever, there used to be the Wizard World LA, or when they went down to Anaheim, like DC would usually have a panel.
Yeah.
Especially more recently now, DC is based out of Burbank now.
So
They've consolidated everything Warner Brothers to their Burbank studios. Yeah. But even back then, they used to fly out from New York and do all the local local conventions, and that panel has always been a highlight for me because I love Marvel. Like Marvel right now is killing it in the movie game. Yeah. In the comic game, not so much.
I've always been a bigger DC guy than the comics. DC Nation panels are great because you get to hear all the inside stories.
Yeah, they announce stuff that may get announced and never come out, like that Speed Force book that Jeff Johns announced freaking 7 years ago that never materialized. Damn you, Jeff Johns. Well, maybe that was out of his hands. It's not your fault, Jeff Johns. I'm sorry.
It was Dan DiDio's fault.
It's Dan DiDio's fault.
But it was really cool, and they had it's kind of a Batman focused.
It was very Batman focused. The only person we were missing was Tom King.
Yeah, because you had what was it, Christopher Priest, who's doing the Deathstroke, which is technically a Batman versus Deathstroke book right now.
Currently, yes.
And then I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy's doing the Teen Titans. Which
it's a Damian-focused book.
And then they had the guy who is doing Detective Comics.
Detective Comics, who apparently they announced he's doing The Outsiders.
He's doing The Outsiders.
As soon as we walked in, because we walked in late, because I was drawing for our friend Monstro, and I was like, oh shit, like you thought the panel was 11:30. We got confused. Yeah. I'm like, oh, we have time. I'm gonna finish drawing this Master Roshi here for Monstro. And I was like, oh shit, the panel's already started. And we're just like, let's walk on over. We walked in, they announced that Outsiders book. It sounds really cool.
Yeah.
And the panel, like, we got to hear a lot. Like, I love getting the insight from the writers. That's probably the thing I miss most about going to conventions is getting that insight about my favorite comic books or the insight from my favorite writers. Like I always say, like, because of you, like my greatest comic convention experience was at 2008 when I freaking, like, you called me on a Friday afternoon, drive down here, I have a pass for you. And I'm like, I'd never gone. I'm like, all right. I drove Friday night to San Diego. And then the next day we went to the DC Nation panel, and all of my favorite writers and Mike Grell. I have no. Mike Grell's Mike Grell. Yeah. He's a legend. Yeah. But all the guys whose stuff I was reading at the time were all there. I'm like, oh, there's Jeff Johns. Yeah. There's Peter Giffen. There's Greg Rucka. There's Grant Moore. I think Grant was on that panel too. Like, there's Grant Morrison. I'm like, oh my God, these are everyone I wanted to meet. Ever. And I got to go shake all their hands after and listening to them, crack wise about comics with, jackass DC publisher Dan DiDio, who I mysteriously look like him. Right, I used to always say I was his illegitimate son. And then we eventually just moved it on to, like, I'm Earth 2 Dan DiDio. I'm an alternate universe Dan. Like, the publisher, if you go look up the publisher of DC Comics, he looks like an older version of me. He looks more like my dad than my actual dad. And so that was always, like, the panels were always my favorite thing because you got insights. I love insight. Like, it's like real life DVD commentary. Back when people used to listen to DVD commentary, it was like real, like, oh, it's comic book commentary. Like, you get to hear the creators talk about their books and talk about what they've done and where they're going. And it's always fun.
Yeah, especially like DC ones. Like, they're so cool because they have, like.
They're always mad cap.
And I always feel like they announce things that they're not supposed to be talking about yet, and like it just it's always,
I think it's always like tongue in cheek. Like, they know they're gonna announce it, but they make it seem like, oh, you shouldn't have said that. Why did you say it? Why are you doing that? Don't talk about that book. Don't talk about that project. That affectation I'm making. That's you go find a YouTube video of Dan DiDio. That's how he sounds like.
But it was fun. It was a lot. I really enjoyed that panel. Like,
it was really good. Like, all the parts where the writers were talking about their writing processes. How, like, oh, there should be, each writer should write their own Batman. Yeah. Or, like, it's like, oh, if we all wrote the same Batman, it wouldn't be very interesting. Yeah. Everyone has to put their personal takes into the character.
But that's a really good idea. It's real, cause I never thought about it that way. Because I always. Because as a kid, they used to always confuse the hell out of me because I was a big Superman guy. Back then there was 4 Superman titles. And they all, most of the time, they would all connect. They would all have, like, one big storyline. Yeah,
but each of them had different, like...
Yeah, different tones, different, and it was always, like...
It's not even just the art, but, like, there were some striking, like, Man of Steel was very...
Yeah, it looked totally different than the other.
It was very hard, where, like, you had your clean lines of, like, Dan Jurgens and Tom Grummett, and then you went Man of Steel, which is, like, whoever... drew that was like, it was like so messy. There was so much ink all over the place. And then Action Comics was a little bit different. That one felt very old school. That felt like an older style comic in that one. And you really did have 4 different Supermen. Like, it was one thread. You were supposed to be able to read them one after the other. Every week you could buy a Superman comic. I remember they even had a little triangle in the front to let you know, hey, read them in this order. Read, it's 1998, number 26, 1998. Like, you'd have the different numbers. Action Comics, 700 and something, and you had all the different numberings. But you knew what order to read them, because back then, after the death of Superman, I became a Superman fan. And I bought all the books every week.
See, that's the other thing too that's really cool was that I went back. I've been rereading Reign of Superman, and it's cool because if you just read them, like you just read them in the order that they were released, like the story still works.
Yeah,
but if you read them,
even though they have there's B and C plots that are like book specific, the A plot was still carry the thread through.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. I feel like they don't really do that anymore. Like, even like. You got someone like Bendis who's writing both Superman books, but those books are so different from each other.
Yeah, they are very just diametrically opposite. Like, this is the Justice League book, and this is the Clark Kent book.
So I feel that's so weird. I feel like that can't happen nowadays. I don't know if they can actually pull something like that off anymore.
No, it's very. I feel like the editors worked so much harder back in the day to kind of keep everything together. So that panel was really good until they got to the question and answer. Yeah. It's funny, like. That first half of the panel, like, what I loved about comic book conventions. Like, oh, cool. You get insight, you get fun stuff. And then, unfortunately, we get to the second half, which is the question and answer portion of our of the convention. That kind of leads me to our main topic tonight is toxic fandom. Now, we've come on the mics here, we've come on video before, and we've talked about, fans that are negative, a lot of Star Wars fans are, they're all neggy and stuff. No, but those aren't the type of fans I'm talking about tonight. I'm talking like, there is such a toxic fandom that exists, that people who love the product so much, but they get lost in it. They take too much ownership of it. I guess it kind of is the Star Wars but the Star Wars fans, it's mutated into this new monster that cannot be controlled nor appeased in any way, shape, or form. But the people who ask the questions during the panel, I think they don't understand how fandom is supposed to work. Yeah. It's like, we don't dictate to them. A lot of people say, well, we pay for it, we should dictate what happens. So I'm like, yeah, if everybody likes it, they'll give us more of it. But it's not supposed to cater to a laser focused one person, which I think a lot of the questions that were asked during the panel were very like, I only care about this character. Why isn't my character being serviced? Like, that would be me going up like, why can't I get Ted Cord in any of these books? Like that. I feel like that's very there's this selfish fandom where like, I'm not being served. Why am I not being served? I am a big fan. I've given you all this money. You need to do what I say. Yeah. And it's not, people don't think very globally, or like they don't think about other fans. They think, hey, you find the books that you like, you find your characters when they show up, and you kind of like, you roll with it. You go,
because I was saying, like for instance, like you love Ted Cord, but wouldn't you rather wait for a good Ted Cord book than
than just some schlock? Yeah. Exactly. You wait for something quality. Like, unfortunately, was it Countdown to freaking Infinite Crisis? We got one of the best Ted Cord stories, which unfortunately ended with him taking a bullet to the head.
Yeah. He's back now in the.
I know in the current universe. In comic books, nobody stays dead. Yeah. That's the beauty of this this form of fiction. That you can do whatever you want. Life and death are kind of inconsequential as long as it serves the plot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think a lot of these fans like. When they were talking about the outsiders, and they're, who are some of the outsiders? And one guy said Halo. I'm like, it's like, even I barely know who that character is, and I'm a big fucking comic book fan. I'm like, really? That was your go-to? Like you ask, who's your favorite outsider? Like, you go to like obscure character, like if you're the rank them, you're like on the bottom like 10% of Halo. And then another person is like, Metamorpho. And then I love, and normally I give DC Publishing and do a lot of shit for being shitty to people in panels, but at that time I was like, you know what? Get him, Dan. And so Metamorpho, that character, he's in the Terrifics. It's another book, and so Dan and me like, are you reading the Terrifics? Because that's the book. That book is being published right now. It has a lot of notoriety, and well, there's Metamorpho. Yeah, he's busy right now. Can't be an outsider. We have some new outsiders, and it's just like these people like, I have that, but no, I don't want that. I want this. Give me what I specifically want. Yeah. Give me the thing I care. Like, a lot of people get very selfish and possessive of it.
Well, see, that's the thing too, because they always say, there's always that phrase of like, you vote with your wallet, and then so you show people, by buying it and not. But I feel like nowadays, with especially internet and Twitter. People
are not voting.
Well, people trying to vote with other people's wallets.
Yeah,
because they're telling people like, don't buy this, don't do this, and this is why you should hate it.
They're negatively doing it. Like it's like, that's not what I want. Don't buy it. Yeah. And so we get this these negative or like diminishing returns. Like these comic companies, and this applies to all entertainment industries. They'll try to do something. Yeah. And then people are like, no, that's not what I wanted. It's different, but it's not the different that I wanted. Yeah. And it fails. Like the terrifying example that they gave during the panel that I wanted to give was when they talked about how much a book needs to sell to be profitable. They said, okay, the book at $4 needs to sell 40,000 copies. The book at like $6 needs to sell 20,000 copies. Or the hardcover at like $15 only needs to sell 10,000 copies. Yeah. And of course, evil corporate person is like, let's do that hardcover one. We only need to sell 10,000. Yeah. And then, like you said, it's a big middle finger to those other 30,000 people who can't afford it. Yeah. Yeah. And it was this.
But see, the thing is, I think he gave that example too because someone. See, I thought that was a little unfair the way that guy asked that question of like, well, how do you deal with kids can't afford these books, and when I was a kid they were 10 cents, and I don't know how.
That's a false equivalency. Those days are a long time ago. Back then, sodas were 10 cents. Yeah. Cost you $2 for a fucking soda nowadays.
So I think it's just like that's the bad part of some of these panels.
Yeah.
You have people that ask these questions that you can't answer them.
They're unanswerable, or they're gonna ask a question and they're not gonna like the answer.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna get they don't get the answer that they want.
Yeah.
They get the answer that is the truth.
Yeah.
They get the truth and they don't want the truth. They want to be lied to.
Some people I feel like they'll ask a question to make you look bad. Like they know there's no way you can respond to that without looking bad. You know?
Exactly. All these like trap questions.
Yeah.
Like, oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I've exposed your hypocrisy. And no, it's like the point of these panels is to kind of like they create this interaction between the creators and the readers, and it's supposed to be these positive, like, oh, we're not supposed to sit there and like freaking hoist them up and chop off their heads and mount them like, haha, look, I got them.
But at the same time, they talked about that, like how Christopher Priest was talking about he had written this thing where Wonder Woman was going to go undercover as a black woman. And then the reason they didn't do it because DC was like...
The social media backlash would have been a nightmare.
Oh, yeah. And it's true. I mean, even between like the 2 weeks, people have lost their shit. Like,
I'm sorry, you have like Wonder Woman in blackface. Oh, that would not have played. No, Wonder Woman in blackface would have been a bad idea.
No.
I mean, in the social media landscape, they probably could have got away with that in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they got away with Wonder Woman working at a freaking fast food joint.
Yeah, that's right.
I have that issue. That came in one of my Costco 20 packs. She worked at Whiz Burger.
Yeah. But it's like these fans are just, I think that's always been, I always talked about this, especially with comic book people, that's always been the paradox, is that they complain when something is the same, and they complain when you change
things, yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you keep doing the same thing? All right, here's a different thing. Here's Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel. No, that's not what we wanted. We want slight changes.
Yeah, like, give Wonder Woman a hat.
Yeah, put her in a hat. Give her some heels. Give Superman a shield or something.
Something,
Not like wholesale change. Oh my God, no! That's not what I wanted. And that's the paradox. Like these people who are fans, I feel like they don't know what they. Sometimes they don't know what they want, or they can't accept what's there. Like as I've gotten older, I'm like, okay, I find what I like, and I read that, and I'm like, oh, and I feel now like I appreciate like when you turn me on to Tom King, like you told me, oh, you should read this, a Mr. Miracle book, and I read that book, and I'm like, oh, it's like such, honestly, it feels like a fucking gift every time I read that book. It's like, fuck yeah, this is good writing.
And that's a good example of what we were talking about earlier. Was that there hasn't been a Mr. Miracle book in forever.
No,
and I feel like because of this book, there's more fans of the character, but it's a good payoff to the people that were always fans of the character.
I've always enjoyed him back because he was always around during the Justice League International times. Giffen and DiMattei, they worked and used him and the New Gods kind of like more. They're more comedic than serious than the way Kirby created them. But it was like you're right. It was a big payoff for people who appreciate this character. Like. If Tom King had done a Blue Beetle book along those same lines, and I feel like, it would have been like a similar thing. All of a sudden, all these like people would have come out of the woodwork. Hey, I've always enjoyed this weird wannabe Batman.
I think that's the thing too. And it's kind of the double-edged sword of this whole thing is that the reason that because Tom King couldn't, well, I guess he could. I was saying like he couldn't do this with like a character like Batman because he is kind of doing the same thing.
He actually is doing it with Batman.
No, but I'm saying like someone like a bigger character, he probably wouldn't be able to do that with his bigger characters and really mess with
what he's really doing in the Mr. Miracle book. This whole like. A giant paradigm shift that he's doing where like is this book continuity, is this happening in reality? We don't know what's actually happening in this book.
It's a character that like it's sad to say but like he has that cult following but he's not like a huge character. They're not going to make a Mr. Miracle movie anytime soon, so he could do whatever he wants realistically,
and he has holy shit, and has he
And so that's the thing, you're not going to get a backlash like we were talking about,
like with Batman, where I'm sure, I feel like there's probably a lot of people like that don't like what Tom King has done with Batman. Like, he can't fall in love, he can't have emotions, he's supposed to be this stone cold superhero who's supposed to have the answer to everything, and he's sad that Catwoman broke up with him? Batman can't be sad.
I mean, that's another example of like these toxic fans who like, see, the thing that frustrated the hell out of me was that when Batman 50 came out, it got so much negative reviews, and it was from people that
don't read the book.
They just bought that issue, and they're like, I didn't like it. It didn't make sense to me.
Like, what do you mean? Two people who love each other wrote love letter, wrote like breakup letters to each other.
Yeah,
it's like, if you've been reading the whole story, that was like the ultimate. That's like the ultimate payoff.
Yeah.
To everything that he's built since the war of riddles and jokes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's like it was such an emotional payoff.
Yeah.
To everything that built up to that. And people just don't get it. Like if you want, like, a lot of these, I guess that's the big thing with comics. Like it rewards loyalty. It rewards, like, if you've been reading it, there is a reward at the end of the day. Like you will get you're gonna get these payoffs every so often. Like, oh fuck, that was so good.
But see, then there's the dark side of that is that people want that all the time.
Yeah, you want that payoff every issue. Like, no, that's not possible.
And you want it to be the payoff you want.
Like, exactly.
I feel like I have a theory that's a lot of problems when it comes to like entertainment. Is that I feel like people have the story in their head, and if it's not that, then they don't like it.
Then they don't like it.
They get mad, or they get like, oh,
this isn't what I wanted.
Yeah.
And then that's, especially now with the internet, now everyone has a bigger voice. A couple of jackasses like us can get in front of a microphone, in front of a camera. We can say what we want. We're trying to do it in a more positive, enlightened way.
Yeah.
Most people are kind of shitting on everything, and it's just it's rough out there for like across all mediums.
Yeah.
Like, here, I haven't done this in a while. Back when I worked at Nintendo, take a drink, everyone. People would always ask me, because I go out and represent Nintendo. It's like, oh, don't you get scared of dealing with people who hate Nintendo? I'm like, no, the people who hate Nintendo, that's easy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I hate Nintendo. You guys suck. I'm like, all right, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Or if I was feeling especially saucy, show me on the NES where they touched you. Who hurt you? Who hurt you that made you feel this way? I'm like, well, how did Nintendo hurt you? Like, it's like if I was being especially, but most of the time I'd be like, cool. I have filed your complaint. I'll put it in the complaint file up in Redmond, Washington, which doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I always felt the tougher people to deal with were the people who really loved Nintendo. Those people, like, again, even back then. So even primordial, I shouldn't say primordial, but pre-social media. I can speak to that. Before social media, before Twitter, before Facebook, before we had access. Back then, I was the access to Nintendo, and it was the first or second month I was working for Nintendo. I go to a GameStop in West Hollywood, and I walk in, and I walked in with my regional manager, the guy who was in charge of the entire West Coast back then.
Yeah.
And we walk in, and the GameStop guy goes, "Oh, Nintendo rep. Oh, great. I have a question." I'm like, "Okay, what's your question?" I have a good wealth of knowledge of Nintendo, even though I've only been working there for I've been a Nintendo fan my whole life. I have a wealth of knowledge of Nintendo. How can I help you? He's like, when are Link and Princess Zelda gonna kiss? Like, and I was like, I beg your pardon? Yeah, no. When are Link, the hero of Legend of Zelda, and Princess Zelda, the Epsilon's Legend of Zelda, when are they gonna kiss? I turn to my regional manager, you've been at this a lot longer. How about you field this one? And then he goes to the standard corporate, well, we don't make those decisions. These games are made in Japan. The plots, this is all decided by people much higher than us. Shigeru Miyamoto, Eiji Aonuma, all these different people. Like, these games are very, that's not part of the narrative.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, but I really feel like he saved her so many times. It's like, bro, you're missing the point.
Yeah.
It's just a game.
It's not real.
It's not real. Princess Peach isn't giving it up to Mario. If you go to DeviantArt, I'm sure you'll find plenty of images of what you're looking for. I'm sure you just type in, like now, you can just Google search, Princess Zelda and Link, and go like, add a few other sexual terms. I'm sure you'll find what you need. It would astound me. Again, this toxicity of like these people. I say it's toxic because like it's especially how it's progressed with social media.
Yeah.
It accelerated and become much more vile and visceral. Where like if something isn't what, like you said, if it isn't what I wanted, then I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what scares me. And then we got to see it on full display. In that DC Nation panel, and it's kind of overall like during the convention, I'm just sitting there like people just walking around like the artist I was sitting next to was kind of shitting on the con. It's like, oh, this wasn't as good, this con needs to be better, but now it's not so good.
Yeah.
And it was just like, whoa, like, all right, no, like, it's my first time here. I mean, I thought it was fine. I mean, like, it was a comic convention. Like, personally, I was kind of glad it wasn't like packed. I mean, if you were trying to make money, then that sucked.
Yeah.
But as far as the convention enjoyment experience, it was kind of nice. Like, cause my last experience at like in San Diego Comic Con, I couldn't walk anywhere.
Yeah.
It felt very like it was just so congested, and I couldn't enjoy anything. It just felt like I was just like inundated with people.
Yeah.
I was just like, I couldn't walk anywhere. I couldn't, and then the artist alley was very like non-existent. Like here, it's like
it was the whole thing
was an artist alley, it felt very much like an old school con, which kind of feeds the thing where people don't want that.
Yeah.
People want I want celebrities. Where are the celebrities at? Where are the freaking where's the TV shows and the movies? And like now Long Beach Comic Con is nothing. That felt like a very old school con, which is well, ironically is the goal of the Eastern Cape is to be an old school con, but we obviously have much more reasonable expectations.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I think they were promoting it. Their hashtag was comics first, which was kind of cool because like that's a thing that's like not at conventions anymore. I feel.
Mile High Comics stopped going to San Diego Comic Con because people weren't buying comic books.
Yeah.
Like the terrifying question. To go back to that DC Nation panel, the question that DC publisher Dan Dio asked: how many people here actually read comic books? And like in that panel, I feel like 90% of the people raised their hands. He's like normally. He gets like at other conventions, like maybe a C2E2 or maybe even a San Diego Comic Con, only half the room would raise their hands.
Yeah.
Like people don't read comics, and I forgot one of the writers is people consume it in other ways.
Yeah.
They consume it via TV, via movie, via video game.
But that always made sense though, because I mean think about it, because like I feel like we're in that age demographic where like our part of first experiences of comic book characters were cartoons.
Super Friends, Superpowers, freaking Superman is Amazing Friends.
So I feel like even going back, I mean, up until like what was that? There was that '60s Spider-Man cartoon. So I mean, I feel like it's always kind of
the one that's been used in every meme, the Spider-Man memes.
And they had those Marvel ones that were like those were really cool because I always loved those. It was like Jack Kirby art, and they would just like animate his hand or like they would just they would just animate the mouth or. But I feel like that's always been a thing, people.
The Batman TV show, the Batman '66, that everyone kind of has this this affection for, even though it's cheesy as fuck. But it's like we have this affection for it because it's silly, it's fun. Well, that's what comics are supposed to be, fun at the end of the day.
Because I think that's everyone's first Batman. I think I think it's been reruns for decades.
Yeah, I mean up until Batman the Animated Series, I think that's the cutoff point there where like. I think from anyone who's like probably younger than like 20, their first Batman's probably Batman series. Yeah. Like, actually, I might even push that cutoff to like 25 because it just turned 25 here.
Yeah.
So like I think if you're 25 or younger, your first Batman might be Kevin Conroy, like doing his badass freaking Batman. If you're older than that, then your local Fox affiliate or in freaking in a freaking syndication before the Disney afternoon. Like for me, it was before the Disney afternoon at 2:00. I'd have an hour of Batman '66.
Yeah, that's right.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
That was so cool because it would show you like the cliffhanger episode and then the resolution episode, so you never had to wait. Like,
you didn't have to wait like the week of back. Again, like us older people, we have much more patience.
Yeah.
We are patient people. Younger people are not. They're used to like getting everything all at once. We want the payoff now. We need the story payoff immediately. Where we had to wait an entire season.
Yeah.
That's why people choose not to watch network shows. They just wait for it to show up on Hulu or Netflix and then watch it all. And then they get the next season like, oh man. Game of Thrones is going to take forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I just find out now? Did someone read the book and just tell me the ending? Like, no, you don't get the money shot now. You got to wait for that. You got to wait for that nut.
Yeah, but that's the other thing about the downside of binging is if you watch it all in a weekend, you have to wait like a year
for the next one. If there is a next season.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of millennials watch Firefly. Like, all right, what's the second season?
Yeah.
Serenity.
Yeah, here's a movie.
And that's it.
It's gonna make you sad.
You're gonna get bummed out. You're gonna see everybody die.
Yeah.
Don't get attached.
Don't get attached.
Don't get attached. Certain people are not gonna make it through this movie.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's just. But it's funny that you mentioned the Batman animated series because the DC Nation app, not DC Universe. App, the one thing is launching this weekend. The one thing I'm really looking forward to is the fact that Mask of the Phantasm is gonna be on there.
See, I'd never watched it until the movie challenge.
Oh, really?
That was really good. Although I saw that fucking a mile fucking away. Adult me's like, I know who the Phantasm is.
I remember as a kid that movie came out on Christmas.
That's right.
And my birthday is the day before Christmas, so you know where we were at, right?
Yeah, young Pete Molini was like, we're going to the fucking movies. We're going to go see Batman.
And I remember as a kid, when that reveal happened, I was like blown away.
No way!
Like, what? Like,
how is that possible?
But for this day, like, I think I saw it again a couple years ago. But I've always made the argument, like, because that movie was in the theater.
That was a legit movie theater, like movie. They had movie posters. There was trailers.
Yeah.
Batman Mask. That's how big Batman the Animated Series was. That Warner Bros. Said, you know what? We need to put this motherfucker in a theater.
And I'll always make the argument that is, to me, is the best theatrical Batman movie out there. Like, that was it's really good. Like, the story's really good.
You know what? See, because I kind of half jokingly say that the Lego Batman movie is the best Batman movie, but no, you know what? That's fair because like plot wise, it was really good. Yeah. Oh man.
And it's one of those movies that, as a kid, it was like, it's really cool, but as an adult, you're like, this is a really deep story. Like,
yeah, there was a lot more to it than like your Teen Titans Go, which that's cute and fun, but like the Batman Massive Fan, because they did Sub-Zero, they didn't release that in theaters.
No, that was
a follow up.
Yeah,
that was another theatrical-esque.
Yeah.
Did they ever show Mask of Phantasm on TV as like they split it up into episodes?
No,
did they ever do that?
No.
I heard DuckTales did that with because DuckTales had a theatrical movie, but they when they showed it on TV, they showed it on TV, but they chop it up.
I think they showed it like on there was like a Saturday or something that they just aired it, like, you know, it was a big 2-hour block.
Back when regular channels showed movies during the day.
Yeah. But I think they advertised the crap out of it though, because like, you know, it's like,
hey, because that used to be a thing. Television broadcast premiere of, you know, that used to be a thing up until like a few years ago. That was a thing because like you had to wait for it was in the theaters, and then it'd be like on home and video, and then it'd be like on HBO or the movie channels, and then maybe on cable, probably on cable, and then.
Yeah, I think like was it
Fox 11 television broadcast premiere Star Wars: The Phantom Menace.
I think like Force Awakens just got on like cable, right? Like it's on like TBS or something like that.
Yeah.
Like just a couple months ago, right?
Yeah, that's because those rights. Always, like, it's all about the money. It's all about the money. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was just that the good and the bad of going to a comic convention. You say, oh, the good, like, hey, you get to interact with. It was cool. I got to interact with a lot of artists. Like our friend, Photo Monstro. He's watching right now apparently. You got to interact with them. I saw some of my other friends, you know, throughout the day. And then the bad, like you kind of see like the people that kind of drag this down, like the bad side. There's the good with the bad, you know, in anything nowadays. Yeah. There's the good with the bad. I mean, you kind of have to deal with the bad to get to the good stuff of being a fan. And like I think some people, I guess the point is, I think a lot of people forget what it is to be a fan. A fan is to like appreciate and enjoy the work. I mean, yes. There is room for criticism, yes. I mean, like, I will criticize something when I feel like it merits it. Yeah. But just to criticize just for the sake of criticizing, like I think the series I hate most because I love honest trailers because they're having fun with it, and I think the opposite of that is like cinema sins. I fucking hate cinema sins.
Well, see that goes back to
I fucking hate that fucking video.
I think I talked about it a couple weeks ago.
Those videos are fucking petty.
Where they talk about like they'll call something a plot hole. It's not a plot hole.
It's not a plot hole.
It's just, you know.
It's just an inconsistency that happened, or an editing decision.
Well, it's not even that. It's just that you're thinking of it logically, and if everything went logically, the story would never move forward.
Exactly. You know? Yeah, that's like the tweet I made the other day. Yeah. It's like if logic, fiction is the basis of fiction is the absence of logic. Yeah. But yeah.
It's like, that was the argument that people consider plot holes. It's like, well, I would have done this. That's not a plot hole.
That's not a plot hole. Just, you know, that's just you would have done something differently. Like, you have future knowledge that you know in that point in time that character did not have future knowledge. Yeah. Like, you know how it's gonna turn out. I would have done it differently. Like, yeah, because you know that would have been the correct decision. Yeah. That's not a plot hole. That's just you being an asshole about it.
And realistically, especially like in horror movies. You're not in that situation. Like, you know, like, you're gonna make the dumb decision because you're being chased down by whatever. Right?
Yeah, it's like when you triple and fall because you're running away from something. If you're just running in panic, yeah, you're gonna do the worst dumb thing ever.
Yeah.
It's like if the house is on fire, you're not rationally thinking. It makes me so mad. Like especially those type of things, or like especially when people say, "Oh, why didn't Thor throw the axe at his head?" I'm like, he just threw it.
Yeah.
It's a movie.
Yeah, it's people overthink it, man. Overanalyze.
Overanalyzing for the sake of analyzing it.
But like you said too, like they do ask the things that they can't be answered. You know, like it's just and then they get
Or
upset.
just chop off Thanos' arm. I'm like, no, that's not part of the plot. That's not how it was written. But there was a narrative decision made by the writer, and then we go along with that. The simplest, like they're trying to keep it simple so you can enjoy it. Like we talked about a couple weeks ago, simplicity.
Yeah.
If it's like we can't get too complicated, or else you lose everybody.
Yeah.
So, Pete, let me tell you what I learned today.
Oh.
I learned something today. So I have this rep job.
Mm-hmm.
I go and visit. Like Mondays, I generally go to Sprouts over in Burbank. And so I'll tell you, we had a lot of work, so they send us an extra person to help us out. Someone who I haven't worked with him before, but I'd heard of him through reputation. He's a younger person. So usually reps are all salty old dogs like myself. Although I guess technically I'm young for a rep at the ripe age of 38, turning 39 soon. I'm still relatively young in the rep world. Most reps are usually the median age is like 50.
You haven't done this for 30 years. Yeah.
I haven't done. I've logged 10.
Yeah.
Fuck. I've logged 10, going on 11 now.
We're almost there.
I'm almost there to the old ripe rep. But this young guy, good God, man. It's like I've never been one to complain about millennials, but good God, I learned today millennials are fucking lazy and full of excuses.
Oh man.
Holy shit! I mean, I don't mean to kick a dog. He didn't understand how to put shit up on a shelf like straight.
Yeah.
Where it looked neat. And I'm trying to show him, because like I was working on a 4-foot section, and we're just like these fucking little boxes and pills. We're in the vitamin section of goddamn Sprouts. And like, because my coworker, she'd worked with him before. Like there was a day like I couldn't be there, and so they sent him instead, and he just made a mess. He's like, everything's all out of order. Like let's say like your comic book shelf, everything's like, all right, you put the comics next to each other. Him, they just be overlapping. Like everything is all out. Like I was trying, and so. The girl who works in vitamins, I told her, hey man, go give him some shit. And she's like, fuck yeah. She's like, you don't even need to tell me. That area looks like crap. And she's like, you have to do better. It has to look better. And I'm like, dude, you want to make everything look uniform. He's like, oh man, I'm just doing my best. I'm like, you're just doing your best? If this is your best, it's not good enough, bro. I don't know, like, again, I've never felt like I was one of those people who complained about millennials. But today I was like, the fuck? Did he get like every participation trophy as a child?
Oh man.
Like I'm just doing my best. I'm like, no, it's not good enough. Yeah. No, you need to do better. Like we're older than you. Like you're not gonna be sore when you walk out to your car, 20-year-old. I'm gonna go nap in my car for half an hour after this because my body is old. My joints are gonna complain. The other lady, she's even older. She doesn't go home to your kids and deal with them. You're young and your best is half-ass. Oh, and then like, oh, I'm just doing my best. He's like no, it's not like the job is not fucking, it's not rocket science. Yeah. I'm doing the job just because I was able to get the job easily. You just put the fucking bottles next to each other in a row. Make it look neat. Make it look brand new. Like, oh, it looks brand new. That's our job. We show up, we destroy everything. Like I was like, we destroy everything, rebuild it. Hey, look, it's done, it's clean, it's neat. We did our job. We take a photo, we send it to our bosses, and we leave. Yeah. But this kid, like, I'm like, what do you do on your? Oh yeah, part of me's like, what do you do on your calls, bro? Like, when you go to Target by yourself, do you just stand there? You just check your phone?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? And I was like, I couldn't believe. And I finally understood the whole millennial thing today. I really, I got to experience the anger that an older person has. Yeah. And that's what I learned today. That I hope this kid isn't represented. Like, I even asked my coworker, I'm like, are your kids that dumb? And she's like, no. I mean, sure. Like, your kids can't be this dumb. I hope you're teaching them right. His parents failed him. No, he doesn't understand the concept of a good day at work. You're taking pride. I think that's what's missing. Like, there's no pride in these young people. They're like, oh, I did it. Can I get my trophy now? I did the thing. I worked. Money? And it made me so mad. I was just like, oh man, I can't believe I turned that cranky old man bitching about millennials. He's like, I'm vegan, but that's more of a choice than a dietary restriction. I was like, all right, cool, good for you, buddy. Because she had brought my coworker had brought some apple turnips. Oh, I can't eat those. No. I was like, oh, more for me then. I'm gonna get fatter.
But I think that's always been like a generational thing. Like I think like
the generation next to the
is always gonna complain about the younger generation. Like like I feel the same way with like younger comic book readers. Mm-hmm. Oh, they drive me crazy, man.
Well, but can I just read it online?
Well, there's that, or like like the ones that always trip me out. The ones that like you could tell they're really young, and they'll come in and they'll ask you for. Like a
book from the 70s or 60s.
And then they're like, why don't you have it? Why don't you have it? And then if you do have it, if I do have it, they're like, why is it so much? It's an old book. Like it should.
It's old. Why is it worth something? Shouldn't it be worthless?
Yeah. That always frustrates me, but
See, like, cause we always say the next generation is always gonna be the doom of the previous one. It's like, but man. Like I'm sure that was said about us.
Oh yeah.
We're playing my Nintendo, drinking my High C or my Capri Sun, staring at the TV all day. Oh, you're gonna rot your brain out staring at the television. Now it's like you're gonna rot your brain out staring at your phone. Yeah. But I think what's different. I mean, at least like we grew up to have a fucking work ethic.
Yeah.
For the most part, I'd like to think that my peer group understands the concept of working and like. You're doing your job.
Yeah, I think
I'd like to think that they all understand that. But it's like there's this sense of entitlement, like, oh, why?
Yeah, but I get it. I still think it's always been that way. I think there's always been.
I don't think we have that crazy sense of entitlement.
I think there's some. I'm pretty sure there's some.
Well, some. Well, I guess it's multiplying. Then I guess it's getting worse. Then
it's getting worse.
It is getting worse. Because I guess my parents were old school and they taught me like, hey, you freaking you show up, you do your job, you control what you control, you do what you're supposed to do, and that's how you carry yourself. Yeah. And like just watching this kid kind of like half-ass like the whole thing, and like the whole time me and my other coworker were like, because we knew like, okay, they're sending him, like, oh fuck, we're gonna have to fix after you leave. Like, and so he left early. Yeah, he left early. He didn't finish the full shift. Like we put in like our full 8 hours busting our asses. He did 6. Oh, I have to go. I'm like, all right, there you go. Away you go, child. And then we had to fix it what he did because we're like sitting there like, man, did he really help? Did this help us? Did he create more work? Did he do some work? It reminded me of the old math problem. Like, all right, you have one person who can can file 500 comics in 1 hour, and you have another person who can file 200 comics in an hour. If they work together, how many comics can you file? It's like, man, that lazy motherfucker can only do 200. What the fuck? And that was the thing. Like after he left, like I'm like, we're trying to rationalize. I'm like, did he really help? We were sitting there trying to fix all the tags he put wrong. Like you put the tags wrong. I even tried to tell him, hey, dude, the tags. They're all in order, man. Like, this is simple. Yeah. This is not hard. Just follow the order. They're in order. Because like she told me like before, he just does them. He just randomly puts the tags on. I'm like, why? They're just creating more work. There's a system to it. Yeah. And then we ended up because we could have left. We would have left an hour sooner if we had to stop and fix the work that he did. I'm like, God damn it, we have to come back tomorrow to do the other work that we couldn't do today. But yeah. Man yells at Cloud. Damn you, Cloud. You know what else is in the cloud?
What's that?
All of our old episodes of Dre's Geek Philosophy. They're all in the cloud. If you want to watch any of our previous episodes, they're all available on Facebook.com/Dre GP Podcast, especially for those of you watching on Twitch. Well, everything from Twitch is on there. You can watch us on Twitch as well. Twitch.tv/Dre GP Podcast. The GP stands for Geek Philosophy, not Greek falafels. You can go in the world of Sam Zia and yourself. It could. You can watch classic episodes of Dre's Geek Philosophy on YouTube. Everything from Twitch is being archived over there. And you know what? What else is being archived? All of the gaming streaming that I've been doing.
Nice.
We've been integrating a lot more gaming streaming because apparently people like that. I streamed some Super Nintendo the other day, and that's got a lot of reaction, a lot more than I thought. Me struggling at Super Punch Out, and then getting my dick kicked in by Super Mario Kart. Like doing that, so that's all on Twitch.tv, and I do broadcast it here on Facebook Live as well. We try to do multimedia. If let's say you get tired of looking at our faces and you just want to hear this silky voice, all through your speakers or headphones. We record this via podcast.
On the blue ball.
On our blue snowball. Really? Yeah. Blue snowball. It's a snowball ice. We recorded this and we posted on iTunes. It's posted on Stitcher. It's posted on SoundCloud.
How is Kevin Smith not the spokesperson for this thing?
Right? How is Kevin Smith not the spokesperson? He
made other jokes, and then he's a podcaster,
sure.
Right?
How is freaking Blue not freaking throwing money at Kevin Smith? It's like, you talking about snowball. Yeah. I feel like Kevin Smith introduced the concept of snowball to everyone in Clerks. Before Urban Dictionary, Kevin Smith did a great job of getting everyone aware of all these different sexual things. Thanks to Clerks and friggin' Mallrats. Chasey Amy. I learned a lot about sex from Kevin Smith. You're welcome, Rosa.
Oh.
You can listen to us on the podcast form every episode except 2. We lost episodes 2 and 3. They're lost in either. You can watch them on Facebook. Those are up on the Facebook page somewhere. Actually, I think they're on my Facebook.
No.
Because those first 5 episodes of the show, we did them on my personal Facebook page, and then I created the actual Dre's Geek Philosophy, and then everything is there. I think I shared them onto there. So if you feel like getting your shovel out and spelunking deep into the archives of Dre's Geek Philosophy, you can find episodes 2 and 3. Or actually, if you go to YouTube, they're on YouTube. You don't have to delve that far on YouTube. Episodes 2 and 3, I pulled those from my personal Facebook onto the tube of you.
Nice.
There's lots of different ways to consume Dre's Geek Philosophy. I try to put it out as many ways possible so you can eat it up and enjoy it.
Like you would eat a Greek falafel.
You know what? As soon as you started that sentence, I knew that's where you were going.
Well, Sam's not here.
I know someone has to do it. I felt bad that we couldn't do the show with Sam today. I do miss our compadre, our third chair, and we are always looking. If you want to be a guest, if you want to sit like behind us or sit off to the side, let's say you're camera shy, you just want to chime in, and you can sit off to the side. You don't have to be on camera. Or let's say you're a ham, you want to be on camera, you can take my spot, and I'll sit off to the side, and people just hear the sexy voice. We're always looking for, if you want to be a guest, and you can be in the San Gabriel area at 8 p.m. on a Monday, you come on down. I will put you on the show. If you want to argue with me, if you want to agree with me, if you just want to play video games with me, we can do that. Right here on Dre's Geek Philosophy. You know what else you can do?
What's that?
You can hear us talk about comic books every Wednesday night. This guy, P. Malini, we flip the cameras. We point him in that direction. For our other set, for the Multiverse Comic Book Show, we talk about brand new comic books every Wednesday night at 8:30 Pacific. We talk about all the brand new comics from that week. We talk about any comic book news that has happened in between Wednesday to Wednesday. Where I'm sure we'll be talking about more DC Universe as we get closer and closer to the DC Universe app exploding all over our faces.
That's going to take over my life this week.
Yeah, that big TV right there just above your shoulder, you're going to be watching Batman Massive Phantasm. Reign of the Superman is already going to be on it. I got to go sign up.
Yeah. You know what we didn't realize because we were so busy at Long Beach. Iron Fist Season 2 dropped this weekend.
Oh, yeah!
And I haven't touched it.
My roommate said he it's better than Season 1, but that's like objectively saying a peanut butter and jelly sandwich is better than a peanut butter and shit sandwich. Like, you can only go up from there.
Yeah.
Apparently, Iron Fist is still the worst thing on the show, but maybe there's less Iron Fist in the show called Iron Fist.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah, at some point. I still haven't watched The Punisher. I haven't finished Jessica Jones. I haven't even started Luke Cage Season 2. I am a man lost. I haven't watched anything. I've just been watching professional wrestling. That's all I've been watching lately.
It's too much media to consume, man.
There's too much. It's too.
The Good Place is coming back in a couple of weeks. I mean,
The Good Place is coming back. We're gonna be talking about that when that boat comes around. We're gonna be talking about The Good Place. So thanks for watching. Thanks for everyone. Remember, I was always, like, share, do all that fun stuff, all that social media bullshit that you hear people say at the end of the show, and it's kind of annoying. I hate to do it, but I gotta promote this because somebody has to. Somebody has to promote this show, I guess. If not me, then who? If not now, then when? If not us, then who? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching over there. Have yourselves a good night. We'll see you. We'll see you for sure Wednesday night for the Multiverse Comic Book Show right here in Nostalgia Books and Comics. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night. the book.